You were watching the Big 12 on ESPN. All the boys and girls here inside Grambling Coliseum are ready for this one. It's dubbed the Big East Big 12 battle, but for these folks, they know this is a Big 12 showdown because it's Shaka Smart going head-to-head against Bruce Weber. Absolute battles between these two coaches in the Big 12 over the past 6 years. Lo Galindo here with Lance Blanks in Manhattan, Kansas for the second straight game. No Nigel Pack, the leading scorer for the Wildcats, still in concussion protocol. That means Marquise Noel will once again get the start at point.
Well, he had to fill big shoes last game against Wichita State. He did that well and strong and finished down the stretch. And then, of course, Kulik hasn't shot the ball well, Lo, but he can distribute the ball, leads the team with 48 assists. Look for most, if not all things on the offensive end of the floor to go through him when he's in the game.
And this will be a good battle inside. We see it right off the tip. Casey Eziegu and Kerqueth, a transfer from Oklahoma. Daryl Morcell brings it up for the Golden Eagles. A color rush game, if you will, with both teams in color, the gold from Marquette, leading to an early three attempt from Cam Jones, one of three freshmen starting for the Marquette Golden Eagles. Kansas State coming out with a two-tone look, lavender on top, purple on bottom. The lob for Mike McGurl, and that was broken up for Justin Lewis.
Well, Lewis is also part of the story for Marquette. He's a fine ball player. Has had some big games from beyond the arc. If he's shooting the ball, he's very difficult to guard.
Here's a transfer for the Wildcats. That's Mark Smith off the mark. So two teams that go in very different tempos. Marquette, the fastest offensive tempo in the nation, as that one is unfurled from Justin Lewis. Kansas State will be much more methodical offensively.
And you better get Lewis early. I think it plays.
McGurl for the corner three, and Mike McGurl making his fourth straight start. He's been up and down, but Bruce Weber told us during shoot-around he's starting to get it back.
And McGurl's a key to get some buckets tonight, especially with Pack being out.
Marquise Noel, the transfer from Arkansas, Little Rock. He is the undersized point guard at #1 running the show for the Wildcats. Had a standout game, 16 points, and a huge win for K-State against Wichita State. And a late whistle there as Smith drove to the bucket.
And Smith is just trying to find his way. Struggled a little bit early, and we're talking about a player who was top player in Illinois in high school. He's transferred and starting to find his way in this system. Talked about it with Coach. These guys, Lo, put so much pressure on themselves to perform at a level that is certainly sometimes impossible. And Smith has fallen a little bit victim to that. I think he's starting to get comfortable with Coach Weber and his system.
And there is Bruce Weber. Man, the hair's looking good, by the way, for Coach. And you've noticed a new pep in the step for this guy. It was a struggle last season. They were one of the youngest teams in America. There was COVID, there were injuries. They hardly practiced. It's a team that's much different, that's actually exceeding early season expectations.
Well, and the whole nation had a good excuse called COVID. And Coach Weber talked about it today. You can't practice, and continuity was off and out of kilter. And now they're able to practice and do things that are a little more normal, which is why they have the great start.
Jones, another three attempt, and we've got a whistle. And it was not on the shot, but under the bucket. And that is going to go against Ish Massoud. So the first for Massoud, another transfer from Wake Forest.
And Ish has struggled from beyond the arc. He's a shooter. He's had a hard time. It's a little bit in his head right now.
Top player offensively for Marquette, #10, Justin Lewis. Saw him miss a three-point earlier, and there it is. Noel strips it. He's got a man. It's Smith. Transition bucket in and out. And we've seen a few of those for the Wildcats over the past few games where they get good looks in transition and can't convert.
Too soft. Smith's got to attack the basket. He just tried to lay that up over the front of the rim, take it all the way to the glass, or dunk that basketball.
Deep three. Morcell, wide left. Last year's Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year at Maryland. He's had to increase his offensive game for Shaka Smart and the Golden Eagles.
Well, he's been fantastic offensively, and Shaka has given these guards the green light.
Noel deep. He likes to take those deep threes well past NBA range. Cannot connect there. Kolek to Lewis. Lewis lets it go, and there is Justin Lewis, the future of this Marquette program. 15.9 points per game. Second-year freshman leading scorer for Shaka Smart.
He has exceptional size on the perimeter.
Booker will turn around over Kolek, and Justin Lewis pulls down the rebound. He is a double-double threat. 3 double-double so far for Lewis, tied for the Big East lead. Morcell, Queth was not ready for that. Morcell looking for Queth and did not have the hands up.
Kansas State is bringing in Bradford and Miguel. These guys could start in other places. They could even start at Kansas State. This is a pretty good lineup for Coach Weber coming off the bench. Miguel can score the ball, and Bradford at his size can control the paint, rebound, set screens. He's leveled off a little bit, Bradford has. Coach Weber knows that they will need him as the season progresses because of what he can do for them in the interior.
A little press by Marquette as Noel tries to beat it.
Well, Shaka and Marquette love the 1-2-2. They wear you down. This is a little bit like old Shaka at VCU. For those of you who may remember Havoc, it's not quite Havoc, but he likes to wear you down with pressure.
And here is Selton Miguel. Shot clock was not aware, and that is going to be a shot clock violation. And Shaka Smart runs out to the paint to get his Golden Eagles fired up. Two coaches that are so focused on defense, but they do it in different ways with Bruce Weber and Shaka Smart.
Well, yeah, Coach Weber wants a controlled tempo, wants to get good shots, move the ball, make the defense shift, and Shaka wants to play with a little more pace.
And for everyone just joining us, welcome to Manhattan, Kansas. Another Big East, Big 12 battle. This one is so familiar to the Wildcats fans because that man is back. He's not in burnt orange, but he's wearing that blue and gold for the Marquette Golden Eagles. Shaka Smart, Bruce Weber had multiple close matchups in their time in the Big 12. Coach Smart with the edge 7-5, but two teams that are very similar. Marquette is a lot like Kansas State was a year ago. Entirely new faces from the top to the bottom of this lineup. When it comes to Kansas State, though, Nigel Pack, that's their go-to guy, their starting point guard, the leading scorer. He is out for the second straight game. He's still in concussion protocol. They did not miss a beat, though, in that huge win against Wichita State because Marquise Noel and what he did at point.
Well, Noel stepped up, but a lot of what Noel did came late. Took 15 shots, shot the ball a lot, and when I say late, under 2 minutes, basically took over the game from an offensive perspective and helped Kansas State get the victory. Lowell, we'll have to earmark that Wichita State game to see if that is the game that catapults Kansas State to the next level.
Meanwhile, Marquette, coming off a dogfight at Wisconsin, had the lead in the second half. Shaka Smart was not happy with the defensive effort down the stretch, and the Badgers ended up running away with that one, 89-76. Both these teams picked near the bottom of the Big East and Big 12, but both so far are exceeding expectations.
Yeah, Kansas State 5-2, and then of course Marquette 7-2, had the big win against a top-ranked Illinois team. Again, we mentioned a moment ago, Kansas State beating their in-state rival and Wichita State. So both of these teams have had early success. I'm sure going into this season, if you told both coaches they could have the record they have, would they take it? I guarantee you, Lowell, they would have taken it, and they're exceeding all expectations.
This is a Marquette team that has been completely rebuilt. When Shaka Smart was announced as the head coach, no one was on campus, so he had to travel home to rebuild this team. The transfer is a big part of it. Olivier Maxence Prosper played a little bit for Clemson last season. Tyler Kolek, you're talking about a guy that was the A-10 Rookie of the Year last season. And then you've got the big fella, Queth from Oklahoma. Queth, second in the Big East in blocks per game. And Daryl Morcell, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten, taking more of a scoring role for the Golden Eagles so far this season.
Yeah, surprises everywhere. Kolek typically shoots the ball a little better than he's been shooting thus far, but he's been a great distributor. Queth has been great on the interior, and then Morcell picking up major scoring slack here for Marquette early in this season.
Wildcats defense has been fantastic early on. That's Davion Bradford coming away from the deflection. Smith, a nice lay-in, and the Wildcats extend the lead to 7-3. Marquette shooting 1 of 6 from the field. This is a K-State defense, 13th nationally in field goal percentage defense.
Juxtapose that finish with the last one. He took it all the way to the backboard, which allowed Smith to get the finish.
Lewis leaves it well short. Mark Smith brings it up very patiently. Skip pass, Miguel. Back to Smith, little hesitation, and the floater rolls out into the hands of Kolek.
Marquette really wants to play fast on this end of the court, so Shaka will allow shots that K-State won't.
And that is something uncharacteristic from Kolek. Only shooting 25% from 3 coming into this game. He was second nationally among freshmen last season at George Mason in 3-point makes per game. Noel, so tough, little no-look shovel pass. And Queth, shot blocker, shot alterer inside.
Yeah, that was an alter, and it was a great job of using verticality to his advantage and just altering the shot there. That length is very difficult to score over. You've got to score through it.
And more length right there, Bradford, but Queth gets it back, and that's a much-needed bucket for Marquette.
Yeah, and the Marquette guards are doing a poor job right now trying to throw through length. You've got to throw around it. Bradford is too big and long under the basket.
Oh, but Bradford loses the handle right into Kolek's hands. Marquette doesn't want to run. Morcell off the glass. Is the bank open?
Well, when you're Morcell, it is, because you've been hot this season, and he's essentially a scorer. So you'll take him any way you can get him low.
He's going to the 24-hour ATM. Daryl Morcell.
Well, we are in the Little Apple, so ATM stays open late.
Has 4 20-point games this year. Never had a 20-point game in 126 career games at Maryland. Great feed inside, but a better rejection. Justin Lewis turned that one around.
Yeah, and there was a gather there that cost Bradford a basket.
Oh, a little circus shot out of control for Lewis on the other end. And you see the pressure from Lewis. He gets it back. He's got 2 guys, and it's going to be Jones, nice and easy, rolling it in. And Marquette now into double digits.
Yeah, and you could run a clinic right now on some what not to do's. Miguel just picked the ball up. You want to keep that dribble alive.
Noel floats it, drops it. Marquise Noel, he's a volume scorer, shoots a lot, and it's working. 12.3 points per game. Averaged 14 last season at Arkansas Little Rock. Bradford gets the block. And here comes Noel, 3-on-1. What will he do? Kolek is there, but fouls Smith on the transition opportunity.
This game has gotten the pace that Marquette likes, but there was a gather there which allowed for the block, and then of course Jones comes up behind Miguel. He picked it up for no reason. And Jones of course gets the easy finish. But either team making the others pay for poor mistakes.
Eziagu back in it, and he was an absolute force in the win against Wichita State. Nearly unstoppable around the bucket.
Well, he's ascended here. He transferred, of course, from UTEP, set out, and he's come back from injury and has really excelled and anchored Kansas State on the perimeter.
KC Eziegu, transfer from UTEP, has not missed more than one shot in a game this season. The high percentage stuff, but it's working for the big fella. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball, and the Walt Disney World Resort 50th anniversary celebration. This unique look, lavender on top, purple on bottom, the brainchild of former K-State head coach Jack Hartman. He really became seen by the national audience with Rolando Blackman on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Wore this in the 70s and 80s. Now, Lance, we've seen lavender on top and bottom, but it's a really big deal when they do the lavender and purple. As Noel puts it up, that shot altered there by Osasare Ighodaro. NCAA rules say you have to wear the same color on top and bottom. You get a one-time waiver that you can apply for to mix it up. The K-State players voted to use that waiver and the exemption for this game, and here they are. Lavender up top, purple on bottom. It's a big deal for them.
And they look great. We talked about it today in shoot-around. The purple just looks beautiful.
The length of Prosper there. Transfer from Clemson, altering that shot.
And Joplin on the floor. He's a three-point shooter. You're defending him, you're K-State. You got to know that. That's what he wants to do.
Mitchell high off the glass, no good. Into the hands of Masu. Noel to Masu. Open three-point shot. No good by Luke Kazuki. And a whistle on the fight for the rebound.
Right now, Kansas State is out transitioning to the offensive end. Marquette, they're doing a good job turning defense into offense and or missed baskets, taking advantage of every opportunity. Great offensive rebound by Eziegu.
That foul goes on Stevie Mitchell.
Lots of length in this game, Lowell. These guards have got to be aware of that length.
Masood, long J, transfer from Wake Forest. It's been a cold start shooting-wise. Coach Weber told us really comes down to shot selection. Stop making it hard on yourself. He's known for that slightly deeper range than a three-point shot.
Well, just seeing that ball go through the basket, let's see what it does to his night.
Lewis tries to respond on the other side. Kazuki with the rebound.
Yeah, and coaches love going back to that last play for Ish. Coming out of a timeout, they love to get execution out of timeouts.
Selton Miguel, such a good frame and build for a guy that comes off the bench, has started to embrace that role. Plays starter minutes, 30+ against Wichita State as Noel throws that one away.
And that's an example of that length. You've got big bodies all over this floor you've got to be aware of.
Good ball movement. That is an ugly shot by Kolek at the side of the backboard.
Well, how about the run down there by Kolek? Ish had almost a straight line. Kolek cut off any opportunity to get an easy basket.
13-10 Wildcats lead. Kasuki trying to make it one-on-one. Tough shot.
Yeah, nothing there. A little bit of a forced offense there by Luke. Great hockey pass.
All the way around, get some hockey assists there to Greg Elliott, who faced Kansas State in 2019 and was 3 for 3 from outside.
Lewis swung the ball, but the quick hockey pass by Kolek created it.
And there's that pressure. Prosper, oh no! Had the dunk, mistimed it. And we've seen
that's
two
fatigue.
miscues right at the rim. Miguel, no.
Yeah, that's fatigue. You can see Prosper. I mean, how can you miss that? A little out of shape.
That was a pass inside. And Iguodaro misses everything.
See, I think these guys are taxed right now, Lo.
Yeah, they look winded, but Noel's going to keep fighting. And we got a timeout called by Bruce Weber. You see some tugging of the shorts.
Yeah, and Shaka's getting after guys, but these guys need a break, Lo. It's fast. It's furious. K-State has the lead, 15-13 over Marquette.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Kevin and Sean. We'll talk to you guys a little bit coming up in the half. This is what we learned so far the first month. Besides, this is an awesome look, lavender and purple. Purdue, AP #1 for the first time in school history. The front court is awesome. Gonzaga, 2 losses. Duke and Alabama and Iowa State. Iowa State, that's the team picked at the bottom of the Big 12, and they are shocking everybody.
Iowa State has been exceptional. They have a big one to borrow against Iowa, in-state rival.
Morcell in traffic, but the tip in by Justin Lewis using that powerful frame, 6'7", 245. Was in the rotation for Marquette last season. Just a bit part. He has become a star so far in his second year.
Yeah, with big-time potential. Reminds me of Terrence Jones, who played at Kentucky. Similar, maybe even a little bigger on the perimeter and thicker.
There's McGurl, had an early 3, opposite side of the court to Smith. Another shot, and Mark Smith drops it. He's now up to 7 points. Leading scorer in this game.
And starting to feel a little more comfortable. I think when he's under control and can play off of people, he's better than when he has to create for himself.
Good ball movement. It's been crisp for Marquette. They just can't finish shots.
Got numbers.
Massoud. This is what he does. Ish Massoud, the sophomore transfer from Wake Forest. It's been slow in that regard. Only 27% from outside, but he can definitely get it going.
Yeah, and I'll go back to 3 moments for Ish. Early shoot around, getting shots up. The made basket from the inbound play. And then the 3. It's all about confidence and seeing the ball go through the basket, Lowell.
Jones, lefty heave, too strong. Queth gets the rebound to Lewis. And right there at the free throw line, knocks it down. And we've got a good Big East, Big 12 battle here. 4-point game in the early going.
Yeah, and you'll see Marquette players. Jones just did it, slap the floor. That's a point of engagement for Coach Jones. I'm sorry, Coach Smart, not Jones, but Jones is the one who slapped the floor. He wants his guys to do that. That triggers them to play defense and engage.
Kolick to Cam Jones. Cam Jones got it. And another big 3 ball for the Golden Eagles, their 4th of the night.
Jones has a unique skill, and it's to forget the shot before, because misses don't bother him, and I really mean that not tongue-in-cheek or as a joke.
No, it
truly is a skill.
Scores
yeah,
do, right?
That's right. The ability to shoot the next ball. That was a nice, clean look from Kolick.
What you did back in the day with the Detroit Pistons, Texas Longhorns.
Ish chasing baskets now.
That's the shot that Weber does not want to see if he wants to get that rhythm.
Yeah, his first 2 baskets were on rhythm, on time, on target.
Morcell, and now the Golden Eagles letting it rain from outside. Their 5th 3 ball.
Yeah, and they staying in this press. And this typically, over time, it'll wear teams down.
That go off Queth. Yep. Off Kurt Queth right there.
And Bradford back in the game. The nice pass, a little hook pass over the top to a wide open Jones. Kolick does a good job with his rhythm. And watch him with a little hesitation. Back over top to Morcell.
Really
How many times have we seen this? Sorry about that, buddy. How many times have we seen Kolick with that kind of action throwing back over his shoulder to the other side of the floor?
And he was a 2 guard at George Mason last season, so the point is new to him. He's having to balance how to get his best shot off while he sets up his teammates to get theirs. Late shot clock again. Here's McGurl with 5 on the clock. Little step back. too much. Back iron and into the hands of Kolek.
To your point about Kolek, what he's done is a great job of not allowing his poor shooting to leak into other parts of his game. It's something that a lot of young guys have a lot of trouble doing.
Good defensive play by Mike McGraw, rips it away. Smith got away from a walk. The throwdown! Ish Masood rising high.
Poor job of stopping the ball with that press, and Smith did get away with a little bit of a carry there. He played through it and threw the ball right over the top. Watch this, no pressure on the ball here, so there's your carry, but he has vision to throw it right up by the rim. Look, no hands up. Both of those defenders were in no man's land. They weren't really guarding anyone, weren't guarding the ball, just standing there. Smith did a great job putting the ball right in position to score.
Another nice feed from Kolek. The kick out, Greg Elliott no good. Kolek gets it back. And here's Joplin. Fine shooter on his own, and the sweeping layup. And Marquette with the lead 25-23. Final 4 minutes of the first half.
Well, that's huge for Joplin. Of his 38 shots coming into the game, 31 of them were threes. So it's a rarity for Joplin to drive to the basket and score at the rim.
Noel turns the corner, throws it right into the hands of Kolek. It was a nice move. It'll work out. Elliott, wide open three. Passes it up, and another skip pass. Rebound by Iguodala. Kolek, no. And we got a whistle. Some contact with Smith, and that is going to go against Daryl Morcell. 25-23, Marquette leads here in the Little Apple. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Sonic Garlic Butter Bacon Burger. For a limited time, only at Sonic. Spin and dunk, and the loss against Wisconsin shows the type of athleticism Lewis has. And there is Davion Bradford, still not 100%, getting himself in condition after an injury, but he can do that.
Yeah, and that timeout, Marquette fell asleep at the wheel and left him wide open. Good job by Smith of finding him all the way up court, wide open for the dunk.
Joplin misses the outside shot. Smith all the way to the bucket and gets it to drop, and Mark Smith is now leading the way. 9 points for the Wildcats. Here comes K-State.
Bully ball there. Smith reminds me of a guy that played for U of H, Quentin Grimes, in terms of the way he's built. He used that size there to finish around the rim after taking contact.
Morcell fuels the double. Kolek straight on. Still looking for that rhythm. Saw him shake his head a little bit there.
Yeah, he's chasing threes now. He's a good shooter as of last year, and he's just struggling right now to make stuff from the perimeter.
So 2:23 left to go here in the first half. Masood has been great from outside, has a monster dunk as well. Smith has been all over the place. And Morcell pulls down the defensive rebound for Marquette.
Well, that's a good pass by Noel. A lot of them have been stolen and or tipped. Good job of finding a lane and a wide open Smith for a clean look. You'll take it if you're Coach Weber.
Wow. Morcell gets away with it, almost just coughed it up. And instead he's got the air ball from the corner, and he's going to hear from it from the Wildcat faithful. Noel splits the defense, no one there, and another missed point blank.
Well, he did a great job, Noel. When he was going to the rim, you saw him look to the corner, created a wide open lane and missed it.
It was beautiful all the way to the finish. Well, we've got Saturday afternoon college hoops coming up. Mizzou, 8th ranked Kansas, Saturday 3:15 Eastern time. You can see it on ESPN. And then in South Bend, top 10 Kentucky taking on Notre Dame. Saturday 5:15 on ESPN and the app. One app, one tap.
Morcell keeps getting clean looks. Just because you're open if you don't have a rhythm, doesn't mean you have to take that shot.
Iguodaro picked up a foul after that shot. The pressure leading to another turnover. And Marion Ellis checking in. The freshman from Iowa rattles it home. And Ellis, one of the guys that signed with Shaka Smart at Texas, followed him from Austin to Milwaukee. And a huge bucket for a guy with upside.
I've got my headphones on, so I couldn't hear what Shaka said. He literally came over here to the table and yelled something. You think this guy, Shaka Smart, is not in this game? You are absolutely wrong. I mean, he is literally playing every single moment in this game, Lowell. This definitely has an impact of what's going on the floor. And Ellis, the freshman coming in, knocking this down. That is huge for Shaka. He's got these guys excited. We got a good one here. Shaka Marquette up 28-27.
On ESPN, Lowell Galindo here with Lance Blanks inside the Octagon of Doom. We got the tunes playing, we got the students into it. We got two teams wearing their colors. This is what we want right here. And it's living up to top billing. Justin Lewis approaching his fourth double-double of the season. Top for the Big East lead there. Mark Smith has been awesome for the Wildcats. Really, the difference for them, 8 points per game on the season, 9 tonight. Neither team shooting all that well. The turnovers starting to rack up for both teams. 7 for the Wildcats. Noel trying to carry the load with no Nigel Pack for the second straight game. A step back even further. Make it more difficult on yourself, my man. Marquise Noel. That's how you pick up the slack when you're missing your leading scorer.
Yeah, and what he did on the big is he created a ton of space to get that off. He's only about 5'6", 5'7", Lowell. Great job of creating the space to get that off.
Marquette has a final shot if they want it. Fumbled, no travel call. Lewis for three. And Marquette going into the break with a little mo. Golden Eagles getting that shot from Justin Lewis. And it's now 10 points for him. 31-30 and a frenetic first half that had everything. We had dunks, we had missed dunks, we have Justin Lewis going off. 10 points tonight, already creeping up on his season average. Let's kick it to the studio. Hang out for a bit with Kevin and Sean. You're watching the Big East Big 12 battle on ESPN. Welcome back to Bramlage Coliseum. Lowell Galindo here with Lance Blanks. Awesome first half of Marquette, Kansas State. Justin Lewis beat the buzzer to give the Golden Eagles the 1 point lead at the break. What stood out so far? What are the top storylines for you, Lance?
Well, of course, you certainly got to go to Lewis with his ability to score the ball, but also rebound. He's going to be a load. There's the story in front of us. But the other story, Lowell, that I'm really going to watch is the assist to turnover. Right now, Kansas State has 7 turnovers to only 8 assists. I think if that number gets above 14 or above, that plays into the favor of Marquette. On the other hand, Marquette has a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, which is a positive in my mind. Let's see if Marquette can continue to wear down Kansas State here in the second half, Lowell.
Nobody in foul trouble. We've only had 2 free throws. Nobody with more than 1 personal foul. If you're Kansas State, you have to love the fact you were getting production from Ish Massoud and Mark Smith. 7 for Massoud, 9 for Smith. And give Massoud more. 10 points, and the outside stroke has come to life for the first time this season.
Yeah, and credit Coach Weber for coming right out of the first half and running that action to get Ish a nice look at the basket.
Kolek throws it right to McGurl. McGurl trying to take it himself. The dump to Noel. Back to Massoud. It's been an inside-out night for Ish Massoud.
Noel's not that big. It's going to be difficult for him to finish. He knows that Nice poise to wait on the big fella to run the floor to get the finish at the rim.
We told you off the top, no Nigel Pack, the leading scorer for the Wildcats in concussion protocol, will miss this game. McGurl backs down. Kolick will reset the offense.
Great decision by both Noel and McGurl. Noel passed up the three. McGurl passed up the potential layup in traffic. Because you fast break, it doesn't mean you have to go try to get a look.
Noel all by himself. And the rebound pulled down by Eziagu. Noel, yes! Eziagu kept it alive. He goes to the little man. And Kansas State, listen to this place, coming to life with the early run.
Feel stuck with your finances?
I jump up on the stage and do my money dance.
Move your money to SoFi. Download the app and feel what it's like to get your money right.
Do my money dance.
Meet Tempo, the home gym with a built-in personal trainer. Tempo helps you maximize every workout with custom plans and real-time feedback on your form. Get ready to discover what you're truly capable of. Tempo, find your strength.
Good atmosphere here in Manhattan. Wildcats have come to life, so are the fans. A 7-0 run from Kansas State right out of the chute. And we got a game. There's Cam Jones inside, got away close to a travel, but Kerqueth throws it down. He got that pass off just in the nick of time.
Wow, these guards from Marquette love the little hook pass. Looked like he faked it and then threw it under the passing lane and got Quest for the easy dunk. What a beautiful pass there by Jones.
You think he got it away in time?
It doesn't matter because
it's in the box score.
That's right.
It's an assist, baby.
Whatever the ref calls is what it is.
Masood. Smith fighting for the rebound. And a whistle under the bucket.
Now, for those of you who hear your coach say run, here's why. Noel avoids the block and hits a cutting-ish. And then cut. Great job. Eziagu hitting a cutting Noel, who gets to pay it forward from Eziagu.
There's a deflection for Morcell. Deflection's paramount. Jacques is smart in his defensive approach. The whiteboard on the bench, and they're checking that and keeping that updated for the entire team to see.
And Shaka, you talk about energy, and he's the ultimate player's coach. He really engages himself in every moment of the game, physically and emotionally.
Masood, what a night for Ish Masood.
Can't say it enough, Lowell. This started here early today. When we came to shoot around, there was one guy on the floor shooting, and it was Ish trying to see buckets go through the basket. He just continued it here tonight.
Morcell open three off the feed from Kolick. No, Kolick gets the rebound. Opportunity for the lefty. That outside shot not falling. But give Bruce Weber credit for his approach with Masood, for letting him know, hey, just find better shots, better opportunities, as Queth and Lewis are there for the block, and it's paying off tonight.
Great job swallowing the whistle by the officials there.
Oh, this is the 20th annual Women's Jimmy V Classic Sunday. Rivals squaring off with Kentucky and Louisville. It's 1 Eastern. And then it's #1 South Carolina and #8 Maryland, both games on ESPN and the app. One tap, one app. And to donate to the V Foundation for Cancer Research, go to v.org. 39-33, Kansas State leads. Queth, Rainbow inside the paint. And that's a much-needed bucket for Marquette.
Yeah, that was created by Lewis. He had the hard drive to the baseline, the double cane, left Queth open in the middle of the floor. He got the easy finish around the basket.
Smith lets it fly. Little too much And into the hands of Kurquette. Cam Jones, 5 points on the night, matching his total from the loss against Wisconsin, and a travel call there on Daryl Morcell.
Lowell, watch as the help comes. When he drives there, Lewis, he's gonna drive the baseline. You got two guys on it. Ezeagu loses his man. Quest steps right behind him. He's able to finish. That was well executed. And the thing I like about Lewis Lowell is his pace. He plays at a pace that's not frenetic. Sometimes college guys play too fast. He allows the game to come to him and develop. And that was a great example of doing that.
Noel just has such a knack for finding the open spot on the court. He's had some wide open shots from inside and outside tonight.
Well, he does a great job, Noah does, of finding areas where he can get that shot off, as Jones did there. The lefty starting to heat up from deep.
Jacques Smart said coming into this he will break out at some point this season. This could be that game for Cam Jones. 8 points, better than his season average with plenty of time to play. Noel makes a man miss.
And they're playing a little bit of zone here. Marquette gonna force Kansas State to execute against the zone.
There's Noel, shot clock winding down. He's got to get it off. The heave almost banks it in. His plays would have gone bonkers.
Zone imposed a little confusion there for Kansas State. Collick doesn't want to shoot that three. That's why he caught it and drove it.
Why, you think it's in his head at this point?
It's got to be. He's a human being.
Oh, and Noel almost gets the strip, but called for the foul.
Well, you talk about Noel and how you like how he should. Look, that little stop there, he saw the big, just got right over the free throw and shot it. And then, of course, Jones, the lefty's getting very comfortable from beyond the arc.
Home Depot College Football Awards Show, 2-hour celebration of the top performers and moments from the regular season. Our coverage begins at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app. And I'll tell you this much, Deuce Vaughn, they love him here in Manhattan. Before his career is over, he's going to go to that awards show and bring home a major piece of hardware. Put it down. He's got that Marquise Noel size, and he makes plays like Noel.
He's a dude.
The most exciting players in all of college football. Love watching him play. Hey, love watching this matchup unfold in front of our eyes. K-State, the 41-38 lead over Marquette, and this Big East, Big 12 battle. Lewis has been the story for the Golden Eagles, adding to it. Justin Lewis now with 12 points.
The release. There was a pig on him with an outstretched hand. He releases that ball so high. And again, I can't emphasize it enough, Lowell. Lewis plays at such a pace, it's hard to force him to be in a rush.
Now, clutch moments, we will see a lot of McGurl with the ball right now, the super senior. See a lot of Miguel and number 3 as well. Even though Miguel comes off the bench, Bruce Weber takes a lot of pride with that guy being a rock down the stretch from his team. Too easy for Jones. He went up and through the bottom of the cylinder.
Yeah, went under and came back through, but he had a nice little hesitation right there and then turned on the Jets. If we see that again, you'll see it, Lowell. Lowell, he was bringing that ball up court and he forced the defense to relax with his relaxed posture, and then he just turned on the burners. Watch it here. He'll raise up a little bit and then take right off right there. That little crossover is what created that opportunity for a sleeping Kansas State defense, Lowell.
So Bradford called for the foul. Both teams now have been to the free throw line twice. So not a lot of whistles in this game.
Yeah,
that was a lob there. McGurl was trying to set up Bradford. Bradford not ready for it. Lewis, not much hesitation there. And here comes Noel, so quick with the get up. To Miguel. Using that physicality inside. Wildcats with a 2-point lead.
I love the pace and pass there by Noel. He was at a maneuverable speed there where he could get that pass off.
Queth, another bucket inside.
And I'd be remiss if I not talk about his touch for a big guy. That's not easy. It looks extremely easy, but the touch on that pass, on that shot by Queth was exceptional. And how about Shaka Smart again, basically in the game, hanging on every pass and every defense here. It looks like they'll go back to that zone.
Oh, Masood, the dump down, Bradford, and one. Well, that's a good find from Noel.
Yeah, and he used the glass and played through the contact. Ish hits him, he raises the hand, takes the hit, and then uses the glass. I love the soft touch of these bigs here. And that's just a little more strength than Queth could deal with there. Exceptional finish by the big fella.
Great ball movement.
Great ball movement by Ish, but also he raised the hand to get the pass. Bradford needs to show that he has the capacity to sustain here. He's a little out of shape. We've seen him labor through this game. Coach Weber talked about it also in shoot-around. Just needs to get his conditioning up, but with the minutes he's had tonight, he's been exceptional.
Bradford goes to the bench. Iziegu checks in. And they still have Carlton Lingard working his way back from injury. Getting closer and closer to get back out on the court.
Talk about conditioning. He physically looks great, Lingard. We saw him today a little bit and shoot around and moving around. And he'll be helping their front court when he gets back and gets healthy.
Like this matchup, Lewis and Miguel, and too much hands there from Selton Miguel.
Yeah, one of the things that just makes Lewis difficult to guard is he really catches the ball and surveys the land.
And Miguel is the defensive stopper for this Wildcats team. They put him on, the best perimeter dude, and a nice feed. That's Morcell setting up Iguodaro. Iguodaro's a guy that's just scratching the surface of what he could be.
Yeah.
Hardly played last season, 38 minutes in 5 games. Miguel rejected by Iguodaro.
I mean, these guys just eclipse the rim with their length for Marquette.
Off balance, Smith. And one for Mark Smith.
That's just strength. He's shown that a couple of times where he plays through contact. Smith, he comes in. You're going to foul him. You got to keep that from getting up. K-State up 48-45.
Of course, growing up in Milwaukee, watching Al McGuire practice, watching the Marquette play games. And then one of the big things is going to the Chicago Stadium and watching college basketball doubleheaders with UCLA, Marquette, Loyola, DePaul, Notre Dame, teams like that just really drove me to get into coaching.
Bruce Weber, awesome guy, amazing coach, grew up in Milwaukee. Said he was the first of his family to leave Milwaukee when he left to take his first coaching job at Western Kentucky under Gene Cady, and his family was like, what are you doing? Everybody thought he was a little nuts at the time, and he's put together an unbelievable career. National runner-up at Illinois. He's taken this team to the Elite Eight, and he's had to rebuild as that shot is knocked down by Greg Elliott. But the rebuild, I would say, a little ahead of schedule. He even told us the message to the fans have been, be patient with us. It's not going to help the cause when you got a team playing like they are here tonight.
I'm not so sure of that, Coach. You've got a good ball club that you've assembled. I don't think the fans will have to wait that long.
Thrown right to Elliott. He gets it back, and Elliott back to Noel. Transition to Smith. Another bucket inside, and Mark Smith putting together one of his best games as a Wildcat. One shy of his Wildcat high. He had 14 against Albany.
Yeah, and we talked about pace, and K-State is doing a great job tonight of really controlling theirs and taking opportunities when they're there. Lewis has turned into a bit of a decoy, creating double teams and finding open people on the floor.
Elliott in trouble, works through it, got to the paint. They missed communication with Kasubki and Eziagu, and Elliott takes advantage.
Well, and he's the offense. There's so many guys for Marquette that can get it done on the offensive end of the floor. And now Elliott is the man of the hour, and they're playing through Lewis, getting those opportunities for Elliott.
Kasubki with the drive, tried to go. A little hook pass.
Yeah, too much length.
Lewis eyes up. Elliott, nice skip pass inside, and it's Olivier Maxence Prosper with the throwdown.
Well, and Marquette players do a great job not only of scoring, but creating offense for their teammates after they score. That went from Lewis, who's been hot, to Elliott, who's been hot, and now to Prosper for the easy finish.
Miguel, nice and cool. Chucks to three, back iron.
Wow, could hear that all the way over here. A little bit of a ill-advised heat check.
Marcel the drive, he traveled. Yep, steps there. Marquette here with a 2-point lead, and we see why.
Well, the nice little dribble handoff there, goes to the basket, and he negated the potential block and then drew the double team. Eziagu is a little tax right now, looks lost, and Elliott is exploiting that on his dribble drives to the basket.
10 turnovers by the Wildcats, 8 by the Golden Eagles.
Remember the number, 14. I think 14 is the number that Marquette needs to hit.
Noel again creates space. That landed with a thud, but they will let him keep shooting it. That is his game. Volume from outside, and he was the difference in the win against Wichita State. Had the back-breaking three with 1:35 left, and that is a large shot there by Daryl Morcell, senior leader for this Marquette Golden Eagle team. Looking for the win here in Manhattan. Still so much basketball to be played.
Meet Tempo, the home gym with a built-in personal trainer. Tempo helps you maximize every workout with custom plans and real-time feedback on your form. Powered by 3D Vision, Tempo is the interactive technology that trains you. With thousands of workouts, including strength training to cardio, yoga, boxing, and more. Get ready to discover what you're truly capable of. Tempo. Find your strength.
The all-new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. Get thunderstruck.
Last season so tough for Bruce Weber. Inexperienced squad, COVID, injuries. Long Beach State was the only Division I team with more games missed because of injury and illness than Kansas State. There were times where he was asked, "Are you practicing?" It's like, well, we looked like we didn't practice because we didn't. We had 5 guys available.
Yeah, and I called a good amount of his games last year, all the way to the end. He was a class act. I mean,
always is. Masoud rattles out.
These coaches go through such a tough time.
Woohoo.
It's a great example of
tried to pick it up and down. Iguodaro. And the young pup starting to get after it.
Well, right now, the momentum is gone to Marquette because they've created the kind of pace that they want and really fed off of Elliott getting hot.
Masoud. Wildcats need a bucket. Eziagu to Masoud. He is fouled on his way to the bucket.
Just a good job. Watch him stop short and throws this up. Eziagu tries to take the charge. Good job of both avoiding the charge and putting it in position. Well, that's just well executed, Lowell.
Osasare Igdaro, freshman from Chandler, Arizona, as Masood hits the first free throw. Double-figure scoring in back-to-back games for the first time in his career. This man is probably the biggest development, though, on this night for the Wildcats. Ish Masood has started to find the stroke from outside, hits both free throws. And Masood now with his career high here at Kansas State.
Keep in mind, with Nigel Pack being out of the game, that's 15 points that they don't have. So Ish stepping up here is huge and creates major opportunity for Kansas State, not only to be in this game, but to come out with a victory.
No good there. And Elliott, Marquette almost got it back. And here comes McGurl to Masood, slows it down.
Great defensive floor balance and great decision by Kansas State to reload and try to get a good look with a set Marquette defense.
Do not talk enough about what Mike McGurl means to this Wildcats team. Just so patient, so poised.
Yeah, and he's a little bit of different type of super senior as he takes the three.
Yeah.
And the reason I say different is because he hadn't transferred like a lot of these grad transfers where you have to get used to a new system and it's your last stop. He's been here and understands the history and the culture, which you know, Lowell, he's been around since they've put up some big wins here in this program.
I believe I called his first career game years ago when he made his debut somewhat unexpectedly. Oh, it looked like it was clean, but that draws a whistle. The Kansas State fans don't like it. We like this, though. Close ball game here in Manhattan. Exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. That is his Shamrock Zone, unveiled at the beginning of this year's football season, a $50 million project to connect Bramlage Coliseum, Bill Snyder Family Stadium, the football club seats, loge boxes, suites, and then a lounge shared by all sports. Doing some work with the facilities here in Manhattan. Fun job by Kansas State Athletics.
Is there a program in the country who isn't adding space and beautiful spaces?
Wow, pull up there. Justin Lewis in the face of Masood. Lewis, the future of this Marquette program. He's got 14 points tonight.
I've seen him in multiple games, Lewis, but this is a little bit of a breakout game. He's pulling out the full arsenal.
And it's a 6-point lead for Marquette. Kansas State needs to crank up half-court defense. Top 20 nationally in scoring defense and field goal percentage defense. Fourth best in three-point field goal percentage defense. It's a calling card under Bruce Weber. What his teams do.
They've been here before.
Bradford collects himself and a bucket. And that's up against Kirkqueth. Second best shot blocker in the Big East.
So many guys here in this game show extreme patience. That's what that was, Lowell. Just getting that ball and using that big body to ward out people and create space to get a finish.
Lewis to the corner. Jones is wide open and swishes it through.
Yeah, and how about Lewis? There aren't many guys in college that can make that play. You have a lot of guys that get in isolation. This guy can do it as well as any I've seen in a long time in college.
Marcel, great defense by Masood, breaks it up. Wildcats need that. Kolek got a piece of it, and then right before it was going to go out of bounds off Marquette, Smith touched it. So it will be Golden Eagles basketball. Here's that three you were talking about.
Well, you've got three guys around him. Someone's got to be open. And Lewis does an exceptional job of passing that not only on time, but on target, which allows you to get your rhythm. Great shot by Jones, but you've got to credit Lewis as much. He's as fine a perimeter player as I've seen this season. He's just carving up Kansas State. They've got to figure this thing out. He's going to take over the game.
Largest lead of the night for Marquette here at 7 points. Saturday afternoon, we got college hoops, a doubleheader. Number 8 Kansas taking on Missouri. Rivalry game at Allen Fieldhouse. Can't miss that one. Then old school rivals squaring off in South Bend. You got Kentucky taking on Notre Dame. They split the last 6 matchups dating back to 2004. Both games on ESPN and the app. One app, one tap. Kansas leads that all-time series against the Tigers. The last meeting, 2012, decided in overtime, and the 6-year series beginning on Saturday. That's one of those matchups needs to be played every year.
Oh yeah, Missouri with all of their history, and then of course KU, Coach Self, and the success he's sustained over many, many years.
Lewis, go-to guy for Marquette.
The same action.
Inside on Massoud, good defense. Massoud stands tall. Here's Smith, weaving through traffic. 2 guys in lavender were there to clean up, but both missed the opportunity. And that's going the other way.
Well, Queth was not set, and then Noel sold that by falling on the floor. Thought that was a good call. Some of the unsung heroes of this game, Lowell, are the officials. They've done a great job of swallowing their whistle, but also making the proper call at the right time. I thought that was a good call. Queth never got set.
3 fouls now on Queth. Good find inside. Bradford with the finish. The man is fired up, and credit Marquise Noel for the find.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a blessing and a curse for Kansas State. They lose their best player in Nigel Pack, but you have an awakening for multiple guys for K-State tonight, including Bradford.
Bradford was averaging 3 points on the season.
Wow.
Gone off for 9 tonight. Kolek to Jones. Jones having a fantastic night for Marquette. 2 strong there. Final 4 minutes in this Big East Big 12 matchup. This goes back to the 1952-53 season when Marquette beat Kansas State when the Wildcats were ranked number 1 overall. K-State leads the all-time series 7-5. Noel to Smith, and Smith gets bumped by Justin Lewis. Buckle up. We got energy in the house in a dogfight. Marquette up 61-56. Urgent need for cancer research and the elimination of racial disparities in cancer outcomes. You can learn more and help support by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. Lo Galindo here with Lance Blanks, wishing our own Dickie V the best in his battle. You know, that man has the energy to keep fighting. And that is going to be out on Kansas State. Massoud pleading his case. 61-56 Marquette. Kansas State opened up the second half on a nice 7-0 run after Justin Lewis gave Marquette the lead at the half with a huge 3-pointer. And here we are in the final 3.5 minutes.
As you see, Kansas State extends the defense. They're in go time where they're going to have to create a little bit more pace.
Kolek still cannot find it from outside. Kolek now 0 for 7 on 3-point shots.
Well, the character of both of these teams, though, are coming back from being down or knowing how to play when they are down. You saw that with Kansas State against Wichita State here in their last game.
Denied by Justin Lewis, showing the all-around game, just scratching the surface of what he can do.
Well, Coach Smart talked about Lewis having to learn to play harder for longer. Coach, I think he's passed that test tonight with only 3 minutes to go in the action.
Noel bumped under 3 minutes.
That was a good no call.
Nice ball control. Finds Massoud. Massoud for 3. No good. Rebound by Smith. And a foul on Kolek as Smith was making his way to the bucket.
Well, defensively, Kansas State is getting Marquette spread out. There they chase down the ball. Good job. Kolick didn't have the feet set. Critical free throws here for Smith.
1-and-1 here for Mark Smith. And with 14 points, has tied his best mark for the Wildcats. Now check this out. We got an amazing lineup coming your way on Saturday, 3 Eastern on ABC. MLS Cup, a Heisman Trophy presentation. We got Warriors and Sixers. Steph chasing down Ray Allen. And UFC 269 as well. A little bit for everybody there, Lance.
Steph, he's on fire at his age, having an incredible season.
Smith had another shot for it. And has to settle for that split. 4-point game, 2:40 left in Manhattan. Someone will leave with their 3rd loss of the season in a tough-fought contest.
Yeah, you can't stop playing basketball. It's okay to run a little clock, but you want to get a good shot and remain aggressive.
Noel, pick the pocket. He's got Lavender to run with.
Numbers.
McGurl leaving it up for Smith. Collects himself and will draw the foul. Got the whistle on Cam Jones. And another shot at the line for Mark Smith.
Smart play by Smith. I don't think he had any interest in trying to finish. He saw Jones wasn't in the greatest position, moved his body, Smith did, into Jones and created a shooting opportunity at the free throw line by taking it up into the body of Jones.
Only a 58% shooter at the free throw line so far this season. That was critical. Makes it a 1-possession game here with 2:18 left. As Morcell goes to the bench, top defensive player for Marquette. And their 2nd leading scorer on the season behind Justin Lewis.
Now, both of these teams have become comfortable being uncomfortable. So being down 3 is no problem for Kansas State. Marquette very perimeter oriented. Action will come from the perimeter typically for this ball club.
Under 2, 5 on the shot clock. Lewis, the spin, cannot get the roll. Noel, eyes up, looking for a play. The kick out, Masood to tie, no. Masood had the look and has been his best night as a Wildcat. Needed that one to drop.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Marquette goes back to Lewis. They're essentially running all the offense through him and allowing him to make decisions like a point guard, even though Kolick and Jones are initiating the offense.
Kolick the drive. Elliott, the runner, no. Another chance for the Wildcats to tie this up, 61-58.
These are all good shots, Lowell. First, you get Jones has a miss. Elliott has a clean look and a miss. You just got to execute those. But if you're Coach Smart, you're happy with what you're getting in those half-court situations.
Noel hit the big shot late against Wichita State. Who do the Wildcats go with under a minute to play? 4 on the shot clock. Smith all the way. He gets his own miss, the putback. And it's a 1-point game, 44 seconds left. And we've got a timeout. What a play. Smith got the first look. It didn't drop, kept fighting, got the bucket, and here we are, anyone's game.
Well, I mentioned these teams being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Here's why. They keep playing through it. Here Smith misses, as you said, tips it back into the basket, but they play all the way through the whistle. And they don't give up on themselves or give up on plays, and that's what you saw there with the great finish by Smith after his miss on the layup.
Kansas State doing this without their leading scorer, the guy that runs the point, Nigel Pack. The reason they're at this point, though, Ish Masood coming up with 16 points, the most for him in a Kansas State uniform. Mark Smith also coming up, 17 points, the most for him in a Kansas State uniform. And the quiet X factor has been Davion Bradford inside, averaging 3 points per game on the year. He's got 9 tonight.
Yeah, and Bradford can't play sustained minutes right now because he doesn't have the level of conditioning, but he's been incredibly impactful and efficient using that big body around the basket. And how about Coach Weber getting the right guys in the right positions tonight? I think a lot of credit goes to him. As we talked about it during the shoot-around, he had every guy pegged perfectly, and guys have stepped up to a new level. Again, with Pack being out, I think this helps Coach Weber and this Kansas State team, not only obviously for tonight, but going forward in terms of the depth and people he'll be able to use, Lowell.
Any doubt this possession is going through Justin Lewis?
Well, he's got multiple guys, Shaka does. The question I would ask is, do you go for a potential 2-for-1? Because you got a 14.8 clock differential. You get an early shot, you guarantee yourself another possession potentially coming back offensively.
Kolek off the screen. Jones wide open, nails the three. Cam Jones does it. It's a 4-point lead for the Golden Eagles.
And that came from Kolek. He distributed it perfectly. You're down 4.
McGurl for 3, got it! And a quick timeout after the make. Back to a 1-point game.
I talked about these teams, both of them, taking their time. And Lowell, I thought that's what we saw in both of these possessions. They ran great action, and we've seen that pass all night long. You don't have to hit your replay. Clean look knocked down by Jones. And then watch McGurl, the super senior, nice step back, create space. That's why you step back. All what we used to call in the hood, bottoms, Lowell. That's all bottoms.
And it's just a great juxtaposition, right? You've got McGurl, the super senior, on the other side for Marquette. You've got Cam Jones, a freshman and a true freshman at that. Justin Lewis, second-year freshman. So the experience of the backcourt for Kansas State going up against the inexperience in the backcourt for Marquette.
Yeah, and they being Marquette, though, has thrown all but the kitchen sink at Kansas State and their experience. But also Marquette has the X factor in Lewis. Expect free throws here, Lowell. So you got to have your best inbounder and or passer take the ball inbounds, because you don't want to turn it over under the basket there where K-State can get a finish, and you want to put the ball in someone's hands who's going to make free throws, because you got to foul right away if you're Kansas State.
Wildcats with 2 fouls to give. Mike McGurl just hit a huge 3 to make it a 1-point game. Elliott to inbound, and Kolek is fouled immediately before the inbound.
Girl
passed in.
Girl on the grab.
That's to get closer to the bonus. Looking for Kolek again, and McGurl fouls him immediately.
Yeah, and in spite of Kolek's challenging shooting coming into this game from beyond the arc, 25%, he's 81% from the free throw line. These are different free throws, though, from shooting early in the game.
And Jones is fouled. Probably the guy you were hoping ended up. He's at 66.7 from the line. And the biggest free throws that Cam Jones will take thus far in his Marquette career. He was a guy that signed with Steve Wojciechowski, stuck with Marquette when Shaka Smart took the job. Has made 3 straight starts now for the Golden Eagles. Coach has told us he would break out at some point. Tonight has been the breakout game. 15 points. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Wildcats with 14 seconds. A bucket wins the game. Masu 3 on the clock. Rejected. Marquette is going to win this one. Osasare Iguodaro gets the block, and Marquette holds on to win by 1 and a wild finish here in Manhattan.
Well, we saw it all night long. Length, whether it was passing lanes or around the basket, if you didn't take your time, you had issues around the basket tonight. We saw that with the finish. Ish tries to go here, and the big fella, Iguodaro, what a great block, and avoids the foul. Great no call. What a great game, pal.
That's the way it's supposed to be done. Both these teams will exceed expectations this season, pick near the bottom in their conferences. Sky's the limit for both these programs. Talk about a juggernaut schedule. Marquette just got done with Wisconsin. They had K-State tonight. Next up, UCLA. Woo! For Lance Blanks, I'm Lo Galindo. Thank you so much for watching from Manhattan. Now let's kick it over to SportsCenter.